Welcome to the April 27th, 2020 South St. Paul Board of Education virtual meeting. Lisa, would you take the roll?
Inspector Walker.
Here.
Inspector Laliberty.
Here.
Inspector Arend.
Here.
Inspector Felton.
Here.
Inspector Diaz.
Here.
Inspector Bjorklund.
Here.
Chair McClellan.
Here.
We have 7 present.
Thank you. First, we're looking for approval for the school board meeting agenda from April 27th, 2020, and the regular meeting minutes of April 13th, 2020. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Lisa, will you take the roll?
Inspector Bjorklund.
Yes.
Inspector Walker.
Yes.
Inspector Laliberty.
Yes.
Inspector Arend.
Yes.
Inspector Felton.
Yes.
Inspector Diaz.
Yes.
Chair McClellan.
Yes.
That's 7 yeas.
Okay, thank you. First on the agenda is update from Glenn Ritter, the Emergency School Meals Program. Are you there, Glenn?
Yes, I am. How's everybody doing this evening? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for having me on to talk about the school emergency meal program. As you know, we started serving meals on March 18th, that first day of with our school closures, and starting to prepare for that distance learning. On those first couple of days, we started with roughly about 850 meals per day. I think we got up to about 1,500 by the end of the week between all of our sites. We started with serving meals at all of our school locations, Lincoln, Kaposia, and South St. Paul Secondary, and then also the 2 bus routes. Since that time, as you can see, we've had a great turnout. As you can see, our staff there working hard to put together, looks like on that picture there, you can see that they're making some taco salads, I believe. The middle picture is from food distribution site with the north route. And that last picture there is a couple of kids that opened up their box, and we got that picture off of Facebook. So it's obviously been very well received by the community, so which has been great, and our numbers have consistently grown since that time. We also wanted to make sure we thanked my food service staff. They've been doing a fantastic job, working really hard to make sure that they're preparing meals in a safe way for all the kids. We've been having a lot of support from paras as well, helping to distribute those meals. But also we've had a lot of help from the Safeway drivers and the WOTC drivers as well. So they're making sure that we're getting to the families that are in the greatest need, throughout the community, and some of those homeless families as well too. So it's been a great service to the community, I think. As you can see, the 2 bus routes, we have made a slight change to the north bus route. We added a new stop, and we've also added some time in there for our bus to get reloaded with additional meals. So we started out being able to make everything at the secondary school for both bus routes and for the secondary school. But they just haven't had the capability to prepare that many meals. They're preparing about 625 to 650 currently, but the north bus route is picking up about 175 from Lincoln. So a huge shout out to the staff over there at Lincoln Elementary to help make some additional meals. So they're preparing about 450 meals per day. As you can see on the numbers, we are serving about 2,000 meals a day. And actually, so last week we had 18,349 meals. That's both breakfast and lunch. We're doing 7-day meal deliveries. So that means on Mondays and Wednesdays, that was the other thing that I guess I should mention, is that we switched from doing daily deliveries for those first 7 days. And then once we hit March 30th, then we went to Monday, Wednesday, Friday deliveries. So we are doing on Mondays, they'll get a box of meals that will have both breakfast and lunch for both Monday and Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, they'll get families can get another box for each of their children that are 18 and under, and that'll have a breakfast and lunch for both Wednesday and Thursday. And then Friday, they'll get breakfast and lunch for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that's how we've set up those meal distributions. Last week, we had to change things up a little bit with the 24th being a non-school day. So we had that change, and we did distributed meals on Monday, Wednesday, and then Thursday. But we still reached those families to do the 7-day-a-week meal service. Let's see. Look at my notes here to make sure I've covered all of my things here. So let's see what we have on the next slide. Trying to remember. Oh, and these are just some messages from the community. Sam Chin has been doing a great job of looking on the Facebook page and getting some of these messages and seeing these things from the community. Everybody's just been loving the meals and help, and it's been a huge benefit to those families. So it's definitely something nice to be able to print those out and share those with my staff and send those to them, and they can look at them, and really helps them know that they're very much appreciated. So I think that is my last slide. Are there any questions about the meal program as to what we've been doing?
Yeah, Glenn, I just had a question. Could you just maybe give us a sample of what a family would find in their boxes when they open them up for a 2-day
Sure,
meal?
sure. So what we would do is there would be there's a carton of milk for each meal. So each meal we would follow the Summer Food Service meal pattern, and that includes for breakfast at least a 1 ounce serving of grain, usually another 1 ounce serving of protein, so like a cheese stick or a yogurt. With that, the grain could be a bowl of cereal. It could be a cereal bar. It could be we do banana bread. We've done some various breakfast breads like that. It could be a muffin. Could be a breakfast loaf. And then also with that would be fruit or juice, and then a carton of milk. And so each day they get that would be a typical breakfast. A typical lunch would be, for example, the taco salad day. So they'd get the taco salad. They'd get some tortilla chips with it. They would get another serving of fruit, and then milk with that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So Glenn, what's one of their favorite foods? They get all excited about.
Well, since we've put in the cinnamon rolls, that's definitely been a favorite at breakfast. But I think that they really like the taco salad as well.
Yeah.
I think that's another good one. I think that there's enough variety that they've been pretty happy. The deli sandwiches with turkey and cheese is always a good one as well.
Yep, Glenn, you named them all. Those are the favorites at this house.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Well, I love the fact that you aren't just handing out prepackaged food. I mean, it's food that's been lovingly prepared for them at the school. It's just another extension of our connection with them. And thank you for leading that effort. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for the kind words.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. And Glenn, just so you know too, I mean, he's even eating all the vegetables. So Patty, to your point, they get a little baggie full of snap pea pods, broccoli, a few cut up cucumbers, some cherry tomatoes. So you can tell, I mean, this is all in a little package made just for them. And he's eating it all. And as a mom of a kid who, never ate vegetables, and he's eating everything that's coming in his box because he knows that they packed it for him. It's just such a treat. And I appreciate all the hard work, and just know that even as a little kid, he can see the care that's gone into it. So
awesome. Thank you. I love stories like that.
Glenn, Yes. I would be willing to share my liver lima bean casserole for lunch for the kids. It's one of the favorites in our household. So if you
I'm always up for new recipes.
I'm working from home now, so I get to see the kids heading down to the Lincoln Center spot, sometimes with a wagon, because there's a bunch of them at one of the daycares in the neighborhood. And I was very excited when they're coming back and they've got their boxes and such. So it's been a huge success. So thank you for all you've done and all that your staff has done.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that.
Chris?
70,000 meals. That's mind-boggling. That's just awesome. And thank you, Glenn, for all your work.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks, Glenn.
You're welcome.
Before Glenn steps off, could I just brag about him just for one more second?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So-
we'd love to hear it.
So this has been a huge gift for our whole community. So Glenn, thank you, and your entire team. The board thanks you, and so does the community. But one of the things that's very invisible oftentimes to the community is the gifts that Glenn has brought in the last 2 years to our food service. Glenn has brought, I'd call it a back to the 50s approach to the kitchen, which is cooking from scratch and bringing in fresh recipes and scratch cooking for everything possible for our students at our schools. So it's bringing the healthy back into the school lunch program and move away from processed foods. You don't get enough shout outs about that, Glenn, but I'm really proud of your leadership in bringing the healthy focus back to our meal program. So way to go.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well done.
Any other comments for questions for Glenn? Thank you again, Glenn. Awesome stuff.
Perfect. Thank you.
Next is an update on a public listening session. Dr. Webb.
Thank you. So just a reminder for the public that we still are listening, and our phone lines and email lines are open if you have questions or concerns or comments for us as a school board. So I did receive a contact today with a concern just about our budget and staffing reductions. So I was able to call back that individual and speak with them, and we'll continue to share back and update the full board as well. So we want to just reiterate that please call us, please email us with any of your concerns, and we'll continue to follow up with you as well. Thanks.
Thank you, Dave. Next up is our consent items. I'm looking for a motion to approve financial claims, bills payable, staffing, which includes appointments, resignations, transfers, retirements, abolishments, and leaves. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Lisa, will you take the roll?
Inspector Diaz,
Yes.
Inspector Bjorklund,
Yes.
Inspector Walker,
I'm getting there. Yes.
Inspector Walker, Inspector Lalaberty,
Yes.
Inspector Arend,
Yes.
Inspector Felton,
Yes.
Inspector McClellan.
Yes.
That's 7 yeas.
Thank you. Next is our policies. We have 25 policies under review until May 26, 2020, and all of these policies can be found on our website. Finally, our business items. Looking for a motion for approval for the South St. Paul School Board to approve scheduling of special virtual school board meeting for Monday, May 4th, 2020 at 5 p.m. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Lisa, will you take the roll?
Inspector Felton,
Yes.
Inspector Diaz,
Yes.
Inspector Bjorklund,
Yes.
Inspector Walker,
Yes.
Inspector Lalaberty,
Yes.
Inspector Arend,
Yes.
Chair McClellan.
Yes.
That's 7 yeas.
Thank you. The next, Linda is going to read and move the next resolution.
Okay. Whereas the following teachers are probationary teachers in Special School District Number 6, be it resolved by the School Board of Special School District Number 6 pursuant to Minnesota Statutes 122A.40 Subdivision 5, that the teaching contracts of these probationary teachers in Special School District Number 6 are hereby terminated, effective at the end of the 2019-2020 school year. Those names are in the school board packet. Be it further resolved that written notice be sent to said teachers regarding non-renewal of their contracts in accordance with Minnesota law.
Thank you, Linda. Is there a second?
Second.
Dr. Webb, do you want to share anything on this?
Yeah, so this is a result of our budget reduction and right sizing process that we have been in, and it's painful because it's many of our probationary teachers that are impacted here. So it's not a pleasant night for all of people on this list, but I just want to make sure we're communicating that with the community that this is the result of our budget reduction and right sizing process.
Thank you, Dave. Is there any other discussion? Lisa, will you take the roll?
Inspector Arend? Inspector Arend? Your microphone?
Could you come back to me, Lisa?
Inspector Arend?
Yes, I'm on the line, but I'm asking if you could come back to me.
Come back to you.
Yes.
Okay. Inspector Felton?
With sadness, yes.
Inspector Diaz?
Yes.
Inspector Bjorklund?
Sadly, yes.
Inspector Walker?
Yes.
Inspector Lalaberty?
With a very heavy heart. It was very difficult signing those letters today. I just want people to know our hearts are heavy for all of them, but I will vote yes.
Inspector Arend?
Okay, I want to first of all thank Dave and Chad and the administrative staff for everything they've done. My heart is out to the teachers who are being cut, and I realize that this is a necessity. It doesn't mean I'm not supporting the staff, but I'm not going to unsupport the teachers. So I am going to vote no, even though I know it has to be done. So my vote is no.
Thank you. And Chair McClellan?
Yes.
That's 6 yeas, 1 nay.
Thank
Motion
you.
passes.
Next is I got my mic off. Next is the approval for the South St. Paul Board to approve resolution discontinuing and reducing positions. Lisa, will you read the resolution?
I will. Whereas the School Board of Special School District Number 6, South St. Paul, adopted a resolution on February 10th, 2020, directing the administration to make recommendations for reductions in positions, and whereas said recommendations have been received and considered by the school board, be it resolved by the School Board of Special School District Number 6, South St. Paul, as follows: that the following programs and positions or portions thereof be discontinued: communications, paraprofessionals, clerical, student support, custodian/maintenance, Chair McClellan?
Oh, sorry. Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Any other discussion? Lisa, will you take the roll?
Inspector Lalaberty?
Yes.
Inspector Arend? Inspector Arndt, Inspector Felton,
With a heavy heart also, yes.
Inspector Arndt,
Yes.
Inspector Diaz,
Yes.
Inspector Bjorklund,
Sadly, yes.
Inspector Walker,
Yes.
Chair McClellan.
Yes.
That's 7 yeas.
Thank you. Next is the approval for the South St. Paul School Board to approve the acceptance of a gift resolution. Lisa, will you read the resolution?
Yes. Be it resolved that the School Board of South St. Paul Public Schools, Special School District Number 6, accept the following donations as indicated in the detailed background listed below. Donation amount, $750, designated to the South St. Paul Secondary Robotics Program. Donation from Mathis Dye Company. Purpose is as needed.
Thank you, Lisa. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second.
Second,
Second.
Dr. Webb, any information on this?
No, it just as a goodwill donation from Matthews Dye Company, like they said, as needed, but it's a direct support to our robotics team and program. So every donation that goes to help support our STEM initiative is welcomed and appreciated.
Thank you, Dave. Is there any other discussion? Lisa, would you take the roll?
Inspector Walker,
Yes.
Inspector Lalaberty,
Yes.
Inspector Arndt,
Yeah.
Inspector Felton,
Yes.
Inspector Diaz,
Yes.
Inspector Bjorklund,
yes, and thank you.
Chair McClellan.
Yes.
That's 7 yeas.
Thank you. Next is our board members report, and we'll start with Linda.
Nothing for me tonight.
Okay, thank you. Patty?
As I was sharing earlier, I enjoyed witnessing the delivery of meals over by St. John Vianney's, and just so proud to be part of a school district that takes care of its residents and citizens. And you could see the joy on the faces of the kids and the parents that were there. So well done, South St. Paul Schools, proud to serve.
Thank you, Patty. Nikki?
Nothing at this time.
Thank you. Chris?
Yeah, a couple things. Earlier this week, the Minnesota School Board Association had a Zoom meeting with Governor Walz. Many concerns were brought up, many questions were asked. A lot of the questions couldn't be answered quite yet, as you would probably expect. But in his closing, he said one thing that I thought I wanted to pass on here, and that was that he is going to be noting all of the concerns that came up and passing them on to the Department of Education and anyone else that needed to hear, so that parents can hear that their concerns are being raised and addressed. I want to point that out to all of the families in the neighborhood or in the community, that the governor wants to know what your concerns are and is going to address them with you. So please watch for that and into the future. And then the other thing is the signs that have been popping up around town, just yard signs that have a cap and tassel on them, and it just says senior class of 2020. And how much I really appreciate those signs coming up. I try to give a little tap of the horn if I'm driving by, or maybe a little salute if I'm walking, and hopefully they hear or see that and just know that all of us out here care, and we're hurting for what they're not getting as seniors going through a pretty fun time of their lives. And I would encourage everyone else to just watch for those and address them if you see them. That's all.
Thank you, Chris. Bill?
I just want to thank all the board members, the administrators, the faculty, and anybody who gets a check from Special District Number 6 for making such a smooth transition in these terrible times. Everybody's done a great job, and I want to just thank everybody and say, keep up the good work.
Thank you, Bill. And finally, Wendy.
First, I want to put out a shout of congratulations to Bryn Sexauer, as she was named our Athena Award winner for this year. Bryn has been involved in all her years of high school and different activities, so congratulations to her. And as the board representative to the Educational Foundation, I just want to remind families that unfortunately, even though we can't have our usual scholarship banquet at the secondary building, it's always been such a wonderful evening. Just be aware that all the scholarships will be awarded to the students. Virtual messaging will be sent out and will be played on our website and our internet. We're still waiting on a little bit more information regarding how that's going to be played out, but just be aware that the scholarships will be awarded to our well-deserving students. And a huge thank you to all of the donors that donate literally over $400,000 again this year to our students. So we want to thank them. And one other update too regarding the Educational Foundation Summer Fundraiser Gala. The gala itself has been canceled. However, we are planning on doing some type of a virtual online donation program, auction type style thing. So we do hope that families and businesses, community members will keep that in mind, with more information to be coming out in the early summer months. So kind of keep that in mind. And we want to thank the foundation ladies. They've been working really, really hard trying to get all this stuff together. So everything will be completed. Kids will get their students. We will raise money for the foundation. So thank you in advance to all of you who have worked so hard on everything. And also a huge shout out to Glenn Ritter, who was on earlier talking about all of the meals that our food service has been serving our students. Like Chris said, he sees the kids going to get them and how excited they are to pick those things up. So I can't imagine preparing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of meals in that one facility for the kids for breakfasts and lunch. So thank you to the food service staff for their wonderful work, and for everybody that's keeping our district together. So thank you.
Thank you, Wendy.
Chair McClellan, could I share one other announcement before you
sure
close?
can.
So two things. One is now that the governor has announced that buildings will be closed for the remainder of the school year, as you can imagine, we have a number of families saying, hey, we still have materials in our locker, or how do I get something from the school from my child? So we'll be sending out communication here in the next day or so, just about all the material pickup for families. So that message will be rolling out shortly to families district-wide. And then the number one question we're getting is really for the class of 2020 and graduation. And we really want to, as Chris Walker did earlier, just give a shout out, first of all, to our class of 2020 graduates. Our heart goes out to you and all the challenge of what this pandemic has brought. But we are doing everything possible. We appreciate the feedback from students and parents with your ideas that Mr. Ochaki has gotten and his team over the last week. So we appreciate the feedback. We're doing everything possible to see if we could still coordinate an on-field commencement for the high school, and the CLC is working in parallel to see if they can also coordinate kind of a live commencement experience. So both of our secondary sites are working hard behind the scenes and want to stay within all the guidelines and parameters. And so that's plan A. Plan B for both of those sites is to also work simultaneously on a virtual version of commencement. So seniors will be receiving more information in the days to come, just about all the options that we're looking at, the in-person distance type of option, and also the virtual option if need be, and we're hoping not. So we are going to continue to roll those two trains forward. We want to support our seniors and send them off and celebrate in fine style. But I wanted to make sure that on this broadcast, our community was able to hear that too. So thanks, Chair McClellan. I'll go back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Webb. That's it for tonight. I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Lisa, will you take the roll?
Inspector Bjorklund,
Yes.
Inspector Walker,
Yes.
Inspector Lalaberty,
Yes.
Inspector Arend,
Yes.
Inspector Felton,
Yes.
Inspector Diaz,
Yes.
Chair McClellan.
Yes.
That's 7 yeas at 5:33.
Thank you, everybody. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.